Should you take anabolic steroids? You should 100% definitely stay tuned. Okay, so I revisited the video that I done from last time and I thought I should add in more things and make it a bit better. So, should you take anabolic steroids? Now, straight away, this is a personal choice, okay? There's many things to consider. Majority of them being, are you willing to take the risk and accept the side effects? Because the side effects can and will happen to most people. There is ways to mitigate against the side effects. However, that requires taking more tablets which come with their own side effects. So if you're willing to take anabolics, remember, it's just like drinking alcohol in the sense that you have to be willing to have a hangover. It will happen. On top of that, the most important thing is legality. Is it legal in your country? Do you have a prescription for it? They're the most important factors, okay? It's not worth breaking the law. That's your choice to make, no one else's. Now, what you should really consider is, the best advice I could give is build a natural physique first. If you know how to build a natural physique first, when or if you ever do decide to take anabolics, you'll get more from them because you have the education there of how to put on muscle in the first place. That's the most important. It's not worth taking a risk for something if you don't know how to build muscle anyway, because the side effects will just hit you hard. Most people, the wisest thing I'd say is start with the lowest dosage possible. You get more from taking less when it comes to anabolics. Now, do I think you should take them? Most certainly not. I definitely don't recommend anabolic steroids to anyone. At the end of the day, they affect your mental health drastically. It's like a creeping angel or creeping devil. You mightn't see any side effects for a long time, but what's going on inside is very different. And a lot of the times you mightn't see the side effects, but they're creeping up: liver enzymes if you're taking orals, damage to your HPTA axis, fertility, cholesterol, thickening of the walls of the heart, hair loss due to DHT changes, estrogen increases, kidney issues. There's so many issues that can come from taking anabolics that are physical, but for me the most impactful ones are mental. And depending on the anabolic you use depends on the effects it'll have as far as physical and mental. Stuff like tren, a lot of people can't handle tren, and for good reason. It absolutely plays with your mental health for most people. Not all, as I say, everyone responds differently, but tren is very brutal on mentality and physicality. It's quite a harsh drug. I'd never ever think it would be wise for anyone to do a first cycle using tren ever. That's something down the road after you've got experience with like basic compounds. As I say, don't take my word for that. I'm not a doctor, I am not a lawyer, solicitor, anything like that. I just think if you're gonna do something, you've made that decision. Not that I'm recommending this at all. Do it as safely as possible though. Do you know what I mean? Get the most from the least if you're ever gonna do them. But I don't recommend you do them. At the end of the day, they are drugs, and anytime you take a drug, there's always going to be a side effect that comes along with that. I think if I could go back, I would have stayed natural for a lot longer and reaped a lot more natural gains. Even though I was a natural bodybuilder for many years, I already had many years of training. I still think I probably should have waited a bit longer. I was quite an eager, adamant, younger guy thinking, oh, I've trained now for a couple of years and I got a bit impatient. And I don't recommend that at all. always do your research when it comes to anything like this, because at the end of the day, it's not worth the risk of things that can go wrong. And trust me, they can go wrong in a lot of cases. Um, Risks of infection and so forth. I think being natural is the best way. If you're not serious about bodybuilding and you just want to get in shape, you can build a fantastic physique naturally. You honestly can. There's many examples of that. But if you've made that decision, then just do it safely. Don't abuse them. There's a difference between use and abuse of anabolics. Um, and that is my personal view on whether you should take them or I should take them. At the end of the day, I've made that decision. I'm willing to take that risk for me because bodybuilding is my life at the current time. But when things do go wrong, I have to accept the fact that I made that decision. So I have to live with that. So if you're willing to live with them risks, then it's your choice to make. But I'm here to make sure that you probably best avoid anabolics if you can.